Good evening, everybody. Today we are making a cake. I have a love-hate relationship with pound cakes. Every time I make a pound cake, I'm rolling the dice. Sometimes they come out good, sometimes they come out a little gummy, or sometimes they're a little dry. So I was looking for a pound cake recipe today, and I came across one that was different. Different in the way that there's not a whole bunch of butter. There's a good amount of sugar in it, but the butter, there's not a whole bunch of butter. Typically with a pound cake, it's like 4 sticks of butter, 4 cups of flour, and 6 eggs. But this recipe doesn't call for that. And so it kind of intrigued me. When the guy took it out of the oven, I looked and I was like, I want to try that out. So I am going to attempt to make this cake. Now, he says it's a pound cake, but again, typical pound cakes have like 4 sticks of butter and 4 cups of flour and a whole bunch of eggs in it, and this does not. So I kind of feel weird calling it a pound cake, but I'm not going to talk reckless, because if this comes out really, really good, then I'm going to have nothing to say. It's just different. That's the best way that I could put it. So today we have flour, sugar, butter. I got 4 eggs. I have some vanilla. This recipe calls for sour cream. I've never seen that in a pound cake. This is just me. But one of my favorite YouTubers, her name is Miss Donna. She uses this. It's called Baker's Joy, and it enhances the flavor in your cakes. So when she would make cakes, she would always use this, and I would be like, I wonder if it does exactly what she says it does, if it truly enhances it. So I ordered it, and for one, the smell of this it smells so good. But it does enhance the flavor of the cake, and it gives the cake just a hint of something that you can't put your finger on. So I don't use too much of it when I bake a cake. I put like a dash or 2 of it in my recipe. But I have my vanilla. Of course, I have my bitters in here, a dash or 2 of that. So let's go ahead and get started. I got my butter in here. I need to cream my butter. Once that's creamed, I'll add my sugar. Once I add my sugar, I'll start adding eggs one by one. Of course, I gotta scrape down my bowl. Get that stuff off the sides. Time to add in the eggs, one at a time. Add in the vanilla. And the sour cream. And now, we're going to add in the flour. True fashion with pound cake, we are not going to overmix, and that has been part of my problem when I make pound cake. Sometimes I overmix. So we are going to mix this until I see some specks of flour, but not to where the flour is completely gone. And then I might even do it by hand for the rest. Oh, make sure it's on low speed. You see how there's still flour in there? I gotta scrape down my sides, but inside the batter you can still see white. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do it by hand. Of course, my pan is greased and floured because you don't want anything sticking in here. we're going to go ahead and pour this in. Last thing you want to do is smooth this out. All right. So I have smoothed this out. This will go into my oven at 350 degrees for 60 minutes. Everybody's oven is different. So at the 50-minute mark, I would check your oven to see how your cake is doing. Once this comes out the oven, I'll circle back with you guys and I'll pull it out and show you what it looks like. All right, y'all. The recipe says 60 minutes, but I just looked in my oven and this cake look about done. So I'm gonna pull it out. It's been about 47 minutes. I'm gonna put this knife through it because I don't have any more toothpicks, and we're gonna see if this is done or not. This is what it's looking like. And this is another thing. I typically don't make a pound cake in this type of pan. I got the round circle pan, but the recipe called for you to make it in this pan, so that's what I did. But it came out clean. So I would say this is done. So now I gotta let this cool. So this is gonna cool. Once it's done cooling, I'm gonna have a piece and we're gonna see if this was worth the hype. All right, y'all, it's that time. So my cake has come out the oven. Now look at this. You see there wasn't a whole bunch of flour, and you see how low this cake is? That's neither here nor there. Let's taste it and see what it's talking about. You see, I said I didn't want to talk reckless. This tastes good. And it does taste like a pound cake. So you see why it's important to be quiet, be slow to speak. Because you mess around and talk a bunch of mess and this comes out good, and then I would look like a fool. This is really good. I'm definitely gonna have to keep this recipe. But that's all today. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. Like always, be blessed, take care. Don't forget to say your prayers. I'm out.